Hello everyone, today I am going to make a video on absolute minima and maxima on over the closed interval. So let's start. Let h of x is equal to 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 12x. What is the absolute minimum value of h over the closed interval negative 3 is less or equal to x is less than or equal to 3. So let's find the critical numbers or in which h prime of x is equal to 0. So first we find what is h prime of x. So h prime of x is equal to we use the power rule. So 6x squared plus 2 times 3 is 6x minus 12x minus 12 is derivative. So we find when this is equal to 0. So let's take out common in this 6 and this becomes x squared 6x squared plus this becomes x minus 2 equals to 0. So this cannot be equal to 0, so this has to be equal to 0. So x squared plus x minus 2 is equal to 0. So when it is equal to 0, so we do x squared plus x equals to 2. We factor out x, this becomes x plus 1 equals to 2. So this becomes x plus 1 equals to 2 over x. So x is equal to 2 over x minus 1. So this is the critical value, but we find it again. So this becomes this, and we have to plus is equal to 1 and times is equal to negative 2. So when does it do like this? So 2 times 1. So 2 times negative 1. So let's x squared plus minus x plus 2x minus 2. So this becomes x minus 1 factor out plus 2 times x minus 1. So this becomes x plus 2 x minus 1 equals to 0. So this has to be equal to 0 or this has to be equal to 0. So we find two critical values. So one is x is equal to negative 2 and x is equal to 1. So over this closed interval, both are in this interval. So let's check, let's clear all this. So we found our critical values. So let's check for each value. So endpoints and these critical values. So at negative 3, this equals to 2 times negative 3 to the third power. So negative 3 to the third power. So first let's do it. Negative 3 to the third power plus 3 times negative 3 squared, which is 9. This was negative 27. Minus 12x. Minus 12 times negative 3 is plus 36. So this is equal to f of negative 3. So, and let's erase this also. F of 3, let's find f of 3 is equal to, when this is equal to 6, so 2 times 27 is equal to 54. 54 plus 3 times 3 squared is 27 minus 12 times 3 is negative 36. So this becomes 54 minus 9, right, is equal to 54 minus 9 is 50 minus 5 is 45. So 45, f of 3 is 45. Absolute minimum means lower values. So let's see what this becomes. This becomes negative 27 times 2 is negative 54. Negative 54 plus 27 plus 36. So let's check that. Negative 54 plus 27 plus 36 is equal to 9. So this is also positive value 9, but it's lower than that. And now let's check at the critical values. So f of negative 2 equals to 2 times negative 2 cube. So 2 times negative 8, which is negative 16. Negative 16 plus 3 times x squared. 3 times x is negative 2. So negative 2 to the second power is 4. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 12 minus 12 times negative 2 is plus 24. Plus 24, this becomes negative 4, this becomes plus 20. So this is also positive. And let's check f of 1. F of 1 equals to 2 plus 3, this is 3, minus 12 is equal to 2 plus 3 minus 12, which is 5 minus 12, which is equal to negative 7. Negative 10 minus is yes. So what is the minimum value? So let's check this. 45, 9, this is 20, this is negative 7. So the minimum value is 1. Okay, so let's check where it is 1. Negative 7 was the value of this, so negative 7 will be the absolute minimum value. Correct. Let h of x is equal to 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 12x plus 5. The absolute minimum value of h over the closed interval negative 3 over the closed, which means including these, negative 3 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 2, occurs at what x value? So let's find h prime of x. So h prime of x is equals to same power rule, 6x squared plus 6x minus 12, and a derivative of a constant is 0. So this is our derivative, and let's check what are the critical values when this equals to 0. So this is like the same example we had previously, but this is the derivative, that was a function. So the plus equals to 6 times equals to negative 12 times 6 is negative 12 times 6 is negative 72. Negative 72. So we have to multiply negative 72. So negative 72 is equal to minus 12 times 6, and we have to plus 6. So negative 12 times 6 is 6 times negative 12. This is also, and 6 negative 12 is negative 6 plus 12. So 6 negative 6 plus 12 equals to 6. So this will be the answer. So 6x squared minus 6x plus 12x minus 12. So this becomes, let's factor out 6x. 6x, then this becomes x minus 1 plus 12 x minus 1. So this becomes 6x plus 12 times x minus 1. Let's erase what we do not need, like these things and this thing. So this becomes 6x plus 1 times x plus 1 x minus 1. This is equal to 0. We don't need this also. So this has to be equal to 1 0, or this has to be equal to 0. So x equals to this needs to be negative 1 over 6. So negative 1 over 6 x is equal to, or it can be 1, x is equal to 1. So both are in the domain. So let's check on the endpoints and on the critical values. So endpoints are negative 3 and negative 2. So let's check h of 2. H of 2 is equal to 2 times 2 cubed is 2 times 8, or this is 2 to the 4th power, which is 16. So 16 plus 16 plus 3 times 2 squared is equal to 3 times 4 is equal to 12, minus 12x is equal to minus 12 times 2 is 24. 24 plus 5. So let's calculate that. Plus 12 minus 24 is negative 12. 16 minus 12 is 4. This is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. Did I do that right? 16 plus 12 is 28. 28 minus 24 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. Okay. So h of negative 3 is equal to 2 times x to the 2 times negative 3 to the cube power. So 2 times negative 27. So this is negative 54. Negative 54 plus 3 times negative 3 squared is equal to 27, minus 12 times negative 3 is plus 36, plus 5. So this becomes negative 27 only. Negative 27 plus 36 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. Let's check that. Negative 54 plus 27 plus 36 plus 5 is 2. Sorry, negative 72 was not a part. Then it is equal to 12. So this is higher, but we have to find the absolute minimum value. So these are not. Let's try negative 1 over 6 and 1. So h of negative 1/6 equals to, this becomes 2 times negative 1/6 to the 3rd power, which is negative 1 over 6 to the 6 cubed. So 6 cubed is equal to 216. 1 over 216 minus this was first part, plus 3 times x squared. So this will be 3 times 1 over 36. So this becomes 12, minus 12x, minus 12 times negative 1/6. So negative 1/6 becomes plus times 1/6. This is equal to 2. So and plus 5. So this whole thing becomes and just 108. So let's take out the calculator. -1 divided by, not 2 and 16, -1 divided by 108 equals plus 1/12, 1 divided by 12 plus 2 plus 5. This is 7.074. Let's round it to 7.07. So let's check h of 1. H of 1 is equal to 2 plus 3 minus 12 plus 5 minus 12 plus 5. So this becomes 10. This whole thing becomes 10. This will become -2. So what is the least value? 7.07 and 12 and 9 and some and -2. So the least value is -2. So this will be our minimum value. What will the answer? 2 will become 1 will become. Let's see how that will become. What we did wrong? X is increasing and decreasing. So this will become minimum -3. Yes. Okay. So we're little wrong in this problem. So let's try this one. H prime of x is equal to -3x squared plus of a constant is 0. So what is the absolute maximum value over -2, 2 closed interval? So let's try first. Let's try what are the critical points. So critical points when this is equal to 0. So when this is only equal to 0 when x is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 is a critical point. Let's try on these 3 points. So our at h of -2 equals to -x squared, x cubed, sorry, negative x times x times x. -2 times -2 times -2 is -8. This all becomes plus 8. So 8 plus 4 is equal to 12. And let's try h of 2. H of 2 equals to this is 2. So h of 2 is equal to 2 cubed is 8, -8. So -8 plus 4 is equal to -4. So and h of 0 equals to this becomes 0 and plus 4. So this plus 4, but the highest value is 12. So this will be our absolute maximum value. Correct. X cubed minus 6x squared plus 8. What is the absolute minimum value over the closed interval? -1 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 6 occurs at what x value? So let's find the critical values. So h prime of x equals to 3x squared minus 6 not 12x, and derivative of a constant is 0. So let's try over these intervals. First let's see if this equals to 0. So let's factor out 3x. So 3x times this becomes x minus 4 equals to 0. So this will become at x is equal to 0 or and x is equal to 4. So let's see at which interval will be this minimum. So let's try at -1. H of -1 equals to x cubed is -1. When we fill -1 in it, minus 6 times -1 is -6 plus 8. This is equal to 1. So h of -1 is equal to 1. Let's try h of 6. H of 6 is equal to 6 cubed is 6 cubed we saw is 216. 216 minus 6 times 6 cubed is 216 only. 216 plus 8. So this cancels out and we are left with 8. So this whole thing is 8. So let's try x is equal to 0. So h of 0 equals to, so this is 0 minus 0 plus 8. This is also 8. So h of 4 equals to 4 cubed is 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times, so 4 cubed is 64. So this is equal to 64 minus 4. Negative 6 times 4 squared is negative 6 times 4 squared is 16. 6 times 16. So this is 66 times 6 4 16. This is 96 minus 96 plus 8. So this becomes 64 minus 96 plus 8, which is -24. This is equal to -24. And we have tried all the values. So which is the least value? The least value is, we have tried 1, negative, this 8, this is also 8, and this is and -24. So this occurs at 4. So this should be an answer. Correct. We did one wrong, but we'll try